Uh, Guess who's back? Kimbaley, you see, Mrs. Williams bringing it for thee, the Astro-Numerologist. What do you know? And now she's got a book to help you grow. Blow up, show up, grow up, and shine. Numbers to business, it's on your mind. Transform what you got going on. If you're ready to start it, this will quiet the storm. Yeah, numerology, you see, she's the Leo Sun and Moon. Don't mess with her, be straight up, pure, just from the heart. For Scorpio Rising, my sister from the start. We get down so profound, deeper than the frequencies of any type of sound. Bust the vibration, numerology, you know, get you detailed and precise to go. Tic tac toe, this is the flow. Kimbaley's here so that now you would know the numbers for you to get your business rocking. After this show, your heart will be dropping, and then you go to Amazon and get her book, and then after that, you know you're hooked. All right, let's start the show.
Did I do it?
That's you like that part too, huh? Oh my God, I love it, my friend. It's so good to have you back, and I welcome everybody to episode 398. Now you'll have to break down the numerology. What that's 17 and 320. So that's a 2 for 398 of my Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast. And I present you guys to my returning guest. She is an astro-numerologist and big time. She's got Manifest on Purpose, her YouTube channel. Kimbaley is just a great watch. She does the monthly astro-numerology reports with Lloyd Strayhorn that are just, oh, I love watching them. And just filled with so much knowledge, but she's also a new author. And we're going to learn about how to boost up your business today with her new book, Numbers to Business. I present the amazing Kimbaley Williams. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Oh, come on, we're family. You know how it is. But it's deeper than family because for me, with the Scorpio rising, and obviously our connections through Lloyd and Jazz and just the whole crew, what I really love is your heart, right? I've done your birth chart. And so what people need to know, besides the fact that you're a Scorpio rising like me, so you know we about that life, right? Listen, I tell people, listen, I don't care. I don't hate on any other risings, but when you're a Scorpio rising, you are called for some stuff. But you've got that Leo sun and moon. And it's so warm and inviting. And I think that's what makes you also so great with your podcast and the work you do also with Lloyd. But even as an author, right? When we have Cancer in the ninth house, it's like we can feel into publishing and feeling into, this abundance, but teaching. So I want to know, you teach a lot in this book, but what inspired you on a real deep level, right? You've been doing astronumerology for years, but what birthed this book, Numbers to Business, in your heart, soul, and your mind?
Well, BigEAstro, this went back, and this is something that I realized as I was writing the book, as I
Mhm.
was writing the introduction. A lot of people talking about setting intentions and where's their manifestation. They don't see it show up, and they kind of just give up on it.
Mhm.
Well, as I was writing this book, I don't know why, I thought about the time when I was a child,
Mhm.
and I love reading. I love writing, and I even asked for a typewriter on Christmas because
Oh.
my my goal was at that time what I really wanted to do was be an author, and I could imagine myself. This is the creative visualization. I could imagine myself up on a hill, writing a book and thinking about Stephen King and things like that. But they tell you in school, you're not going to be an author, so you need to find something else. And so I moved on with my life, but I never stopped reading, and I never stopped enjoying to write. And as I was doing this, I thought about it. This is like that manifestation from all of those years ago. And I've always been passionate about business. I have a lot of Capricorn energy. In fact, I was raised by three people. I give three people credit for raising me, and each of those people were Capricorns.
Really?
Yes, I grew up in a Capricorn life, so
Oh, so you about that business. And
I've
being
always
Scorpio rising, the Capricorn, the third house, which is about our skills, our self efforts, and the reading, writing, and learning. So that really, you know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but like I tell people all the time, with Scorpio risings, it's so clear in our chart, right? You've got the Capricorn third house, you've got the sort of teaching and sharing your wisdom, beliefs, philosophy, Sagittarius, second house of speech. But your sixth house of work and daily routine is Aries. So it's like very independent and assertive and initiating and outgoing. And then the 10th house is Leo. So like our charts, we are made to be our own businesses and to be out in the public eventually. Some Scorpio risings can be real private, but over time that starts to change. Did you notice that for yourself in your own life?
yes, yes, I think so. It's been it's quite a mix of energy there if you look at it.
No, I know. So, okay. So, how many years have you been an astronumerologist? And I want you to also explain what are the goodies? Like what's in this book? I want the audience to know, when they purchase numbers to business, what's the intention and what are the tools that they're going to receive from you?
Yeah, so I've been studying astronumerology for about 3 years, and I've been seeing clients and offering not just the yearly report or the yearly profile for the individual. I decided, because I like business, let me start offering these reports in business, because the interesting thing about the numbers is that wherever you see the number, you can apply it. So if the number one is attached to a person, then that number one will describe that individual.
Mm,
It's also the same case for a business or anything else that is attached to that number, the frequency of it. And so, what I noticed was that people pay attention more to, when they're looking at business, they're paying attention to their energy mostly, which your energy is important, but your business has a birthday too. So,
yeah.
what is the energy and frequency that your business is vibrating on? And it's just like asking your business, like, what do you want from me?
Mm. I love that because it's its own energy and entity. And last time you were on, you did it was such a brilliant expose into me and my musical career and getting back to recording and releasing my third album. God told me to tell you, so I've already been working on the changes and E complete with the extra E, and that was just so fascinating to me that you were able to see through the numbers, right? For me as this separate entity, right? Not Eric Taylor, not Big Astrology, but for my MC name, E Complete, and then my upcoming third album, and just making some changes with the YOU to the U and the E Complete to one extra E. And it was so fascinating. And I learned so much. The audience learned so much. And so, how does that work for you when you're working with a client? Let's say someone says to you, I want to make I want to make candles, right? And they want to start a candle business. Now, if they already have a name, when you compare the numerology of that name, you reference it back to their own personal numbers, right? To get that kind of right harmony.
Yes, but it's all about where you're starting at. Some people don't have a business yet, but they are intending to have a business. And once they find out that they are going to have a business, you will start at that point too, begin to set align things, because it's easier that way to align it before you even get started.
Okay.
And that is getting an incorporation date. And this is found in the foundation of the book. This, I have 4 divisions in the book.
Okay.
And in the first division, this is the foundation. And it speaks to those who are looking to start a business, or those who have an existing business. If you already have an existing business, meaning that you already have an incorporation date, then we're going to look at the incorporation date and the name of the business to see if it aligns with each other. If
Okay.
it does not align, then we would look at alternate ways of maybe spelling the name. I don't like to change the whole name,
Right.
but as you said, with the E complete, we can throw an extra E up there and get the vibration that we want.
I thought that was so brilliant. And I was like, and you know what's so funny? It didn't feel, because I'm sure you've come into this, right? Where people were like, oh, I'm not changing that. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure, because sometimes, whether it's a business or whatever, it's like somebody's baby. They could be extremely married to it. And for me, I've been an MC since like forever, but like, started writing on my rhymes in the mid to late 90s. And then, just because of family issues, didn't get to release my first album to like '06. But E complete was just like, whatever. So, but adding another E, it wasn't really changing it, E complete. It changes the vibration and frequency. So how often do you make those suggestions to people? I mean, obviously it just varies, but in the patterns of the clients that you have worked with, has it been like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 3? Like, what's the frequency of these minor adjustments to the title or the name of the business?
It's interesting. Let me just say this first. That is the part where I get low and say, sorry, you might want to change your name.
Oh,
Because just like you said, people are married to that
oh,
name.
I know they are. They're
I
like,
don't
I ain't
like
changing nothing. Yeah.
I don't like telling them that. But most times, surprisingly, it's not anything big. It may be a matter of changing the letters and changing the letters around a little bit. And I'd probably say maybe about a third of the time.
Mm. Okay, that's fascinating. That's really fascinating. So, okay, so let's say I have an idea for a business, right? So someone should come to you before they file or even solidify a title or an Etsy or an IG or YouTube, and then book with you. So all your information is down below, but share for everybody. And you guys, it's all in the description, and even the links on Amazon for her book, Numbers to Business, and that's the number 2, Numbers to Business, and get that. And then explain to them, before we kind of get into that in terms of them coming to you first, you have a special thing you're doing with the book. If they go to Amazon, you go ahead and tell them what happens.
Oh, if you go to Amazon and or if you go on my website, you can get the ebook on the website, or you can go to Amazon and get the print, and you can also get the ebook there too. If you, wherever you go, if you leave a review and leave me a screenshot, then what I'll do is I'll get your business information and I'll send you a mini profile. And I would like to just say before we move on any further, so if anybody has any questions, I just want to say what business astronumerology is and what it is not.
Okay.
Simple way to say it is business astronumerology is using the ancient science of astronumerology to align your business.
Mhm.
That's what it is. It's alignment, the alignment of the energy in your business. And we want to make sure that that frequency is also harmonious with you. That's basically what business astronumerology is. What it is not. It is not a replacement for any of the business consulting services that you may use. It's not a replacement for your brand specialist or anything like that. What it is an addition, so that when you go to this your brand specialist or your consultant, you can say, I would like to have things like set up this way. So it's an assistant. And what happens is, if you decide that you want to start a business and you're like, I don't know what kind of business I want to start, you start with your birthday number. Find a business that aligns with your birthday number. And on the website, I have the business, the number to business playbook. And what
Oh,
that
really?
is, yeah,
Okay,
it
that's
goes
awesome.
from the numbers 1 to 9
Do you
and
base it on the life path, or which numbers do you base it on?
birthday number.
Oh, the
And
birthday.
here's why: the birthday number is your most immediate number. Your life path is what you are here to learn over time. So your birthday is what's happening in the here and now, and the life path is really how you're growing, your purpose. And for the business, this is the interesting part. That's your business mission. That means that's what your business wants you to fulfill.
Wow. So for me, right, I would base it off of 9/10. Do I do the year or just September 10th?
Are you looking for the business mission? You add it
Yeah,
all.
right. Because you said it's based on your birthday. Do you do the year, or is it just like September 10th?
If you're looking for your business mission number, you would add your month, the day, and the year all the way across. If you're
Oh,
looking for a business that may be suitable for you, or one that you may gravitate towards, you just look at your birthday number. You look at the 10.
oh, okay. So that's a one.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I think I'm kind of aligned with that. So that's so fascinating. Oh my God. So you want to go to the chat? Let's see who's here. And if you guys have any questions about your business or how to go about it, because this is so fascinating. And after what you said, I just have a ton of questions. But I was like, let's see what the people are
Oh,
saying.
we're way behind in the chat. Hold on. Hi, Alana. Alana says Eric and I are building our structure for the future of the empire we want to build.
Mhm.
Sounds like we need to talk to you now. And Alana says, my mother changed her name when I was a kid. It was about 1981. She worked with the numerology, and that is why her name has two L's.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
her name was Laura Lee, and then she changed it to Lauren with two L's. And the numerologist explained everything to her. My mother-in-law is like a trailblazer. She's been into like a lot of things like way back in the day. And yeah, like that's pretty powerful to like do that, you know?
Awesome. Yeah.
That's
Aya
wild.
says, love it here.
Hey, Aya.
Numbers, and you said Miss Kimberly is the best business astro-numerologist ever. Thank you,
Oh,
Lloyd.
all right, Baba Lloyd's here. Thank you, Lloyd, for coming to watch us. That's right. Listen, and not just is she, but see, she has that warm touch, that Leo moon and sun, and I think your Mercury is a Leo too, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you feel when you work with Kimberly. You know, like it's like you are just getting like a warm spiritual hug and the knowledge at the same time. So you really can't beat
Thank you.
it.
Denise says, hello, everyone. Hello, Denise. Welcome.
Denise.
Cherie says, peace, everyone. Just watched her latest video with Lloyd. Thank you,
Oh
Cherie.
yeah. Thank you,
Kim
Cherie.
Talia says,
Hey Kim.
I lost it. It'll come back. Oh, Scorpio rising here, Leo Sun. Ooh, interesting.
Oh yeah, and she's got a big Virgo stellium, but she's another Scorpio rising person. You know how we all get down. And just remember when you have the Scorpio rising, and I'm sure Kimberly will attest to this. Like we are literally here to break generational curses. It's not for the faint of heart. It's very transformative, and you go through these shifts. And I wonder if you have felt this, Kimberly, that you go through these shifts like every, I want to say like 6 to 10 or 7 to 10 years, where you're literally like almost recalibrating or reinventing yourself. And I always tell people the challenge is breaking these generational curses and going through these huge transformations and sometimes literally death and rebirths. But we're always guided and protected from the ancestors. That Sagittarius second house lets you know, Scorpio risings, we will never go broke and homeless. And you can think about any time you've been in a jam, Kimberly, or money was tight or whatever, you always had what you needed, right?
I didn't know it was the Scorpio rising.
Yeah, well, it's the Sagittarius second house, the house of money,
Yeah.
because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So it makes us kind of like we're always, we're restorative in terms of survival, but we're also truth speakers, Scorpio, and in Sagittarius, truth seekers, right? So you had to write this book because you had to get the truth out there. So you said on the website that you have the business thing compared to your numbers, right? And Lloyd being the king of numbers. So I wonder, could you, just a little separate from business, but it's like family business. Could you even, for people who want to do things with their kids, like a lemonade stand, or like my 16-year-old, he's looking for a job now. How could parents come to you to find out, for kids that want to do little startup businesses or even just get their first or second job? Would you, because it's different from starting your own, but could you guide them through their birthday number to what type of jobs are best for them?
What that's interesting, but yes, but I feel like maybe the parents can be the ones, and this is where we have to, this is how we spread awareness.
Yeah.
Parents, find out about your children. If you know the sciences for yourself and you know your own information, tap into your children's information too, because when you hear information about your children in school, you may think that it's one thing, but if you understand their numbers and their astrology, then you can kind of see the truth in what's really going on. So I think it's important for parents to tap into that, and they definitely can tap into finding out what kind of things would be good for their children.
Wow. That's powerful, right? And I like the way that, for you, now take us through. I was going to say, I like the way that you present everything, but you're right. It's so important. And if you don't know, now, do you teach any numerology classes currently?
No, not at this time,
Okay.
but I will start in 2026. I will be teaching the business of numerology.
Oh, as a course. Okay. You'll definitely have to
Yes.
let us know and I can promote it on the channel because that's going to be brilliant. I think that's, teaching is definitely in your wheelhouse with that Virgo 11th house. That's going to be powerful. So take us through some of the most important insights and tips that you have in your book so people know like why they need to go and purchase it and how it's going to take them to where they want to go in conjunction with doing a reading with you as well, right? Do you think that
Sure.
it's better when you do like a reading and have the book?
Yeah, because really, if you do the reading, if you do the reading, and I really do more consultations than reports, because I had to set up the consultation just because the reports had so much information,
Yeah.
and to be able to break it down so that the person understands it. So imagine that you've got all of this information about your business. You know exactly what your business is going to be going through each month of the next year. And you have this book to kind of guide you through it in case you may have some questions or something like that.
Right.
It goes well hand in hand. So that's a good combination.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And you guys, like, I mean, it's so beautiful. Like Kimberly, for me, for E Complete, like she had the colors, went over the frequency and the numbers of different titles. They weren't all solidified by me yet, but a lot of them I'm going to use. But like she broke down the energies of that. I mean, the detail and the care that you get in a report from Kimberly. I mean, it's really outstanding. I had to applaud. You blew me away. You know what I mean? And all my Virgo stuff. I'm a tough critic. But I got to tell you, I was just like, wow, Kimberly, like you bring, I wouldn't expect anything less, especially you connected with Lloyd, but just that Scorpio Rising, I was like, I couldn't wait. And I was so excited. And I'll have to link it. I'll put it in here and I'll put it even on the cover of my page. So when people go, the first episode when you were on, because I really thought it was just so brilliant, because obviously it's a little different when someone's like an artist, right?
Yeah, it is different. And there are some things that I want to bring up that you can pay attention to if you are an artist, if you are a creator. If you're an author, make sure, and I did aligned everything in my book specifically with the business astronumerology.
Mhm.
So even when you do a book with that name of the title, make sure that you're checking the vibration of that name to make sure that it aligns with your brand. So
Oh,
with the
okay.
artists, we already seen how we can go through each song and adjust the frequency for each song. And what happens is when you think about um, Nikola Tesla, he
Yeah.
said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency.
Yeah.
I said it backwards, but
Yeah. Energy, frequency, vibration. That's all right.
energy, vibration, and
It's
frequency.
perfect. Yeah, you're right.
Everything is energy.
Yeah.
And when we align with that energy, then it's going to be better for us. It's going to make it easier for us. It's not saying that you're going to be a multimillionaire tomorrow if you change things up. It's saying that you are setting yourself up for success
Yeah.
because you are flowing with the universal frequency, the universal current, and that's what make things more line up more in your favor. And then if you know the numbers that are good for you, you know how to make the right moves. And if you know the numbers that are bad for you, then you know I need to stay away on this day right here because
Right.
this is not the
Yeah, because
best.
you break down the dates for us, like what numbers
Mhm.
based on the days of the week, right? What numbers are better for us to take action, to initiate, to do certain things. And there's just some days that it's like the energy is working against you guys. And listen, that's where we also have to have um, the willingness to learn and to embrace new information. We have to have humility. Because some people are like, oh, listen, I don't care about no numbers. This is Wednesday. I'm gonna do this, that, and that, and then they run into a wall, and it's like, no, like Kimberly breaks it down for you so clearly, because, like you said, it's not just like a pathway to like becoming a billionaire, but when you are aligned with the frequency and vibrations, and this is with numerology, astrology, human design, it makes life so much easier, you guys. This is what because you tell them, right? This is what the Fortune 500 companies do, correct?
Let me tell you, and that's something we're gonna have to think about. We're talking about ancient sciences.
Yeah.
What we think is so good for us today, all of this new technology and AI. Look back, we're talking about being simplistic. Back in the day, um, they use these sciences to help guide them and to help protect them. And these are some of the same systems we need to be using today because, truth be told, more people are using these sciences than we really know.
Oh, listen, all the Fortune 500 businesses, they've got an astrologer, a numerologist. You better believe it. I tell these people all the time, they design industries around it, right? What do you think the movies are released on Friday for? It's Venus. Venus is the money. It's sweets, it's chocolate, it's flowers, but it's arts, culture, and entertainment. So that's why they release the movies, on a Friday, and so it's really it's important for us to understand this ancient wisdom and the occult sciences because they've been using it forever, but they use it for manipulation and their gain and try to tell us that it's a sin. And that's some messed up stuff, right? When you think about it.
Yeah,
Oh, and have all the religious books speak out against it and this and that. It's like, we're going to use it and be empowered. And you guys will just be trapped in dogmatic beliefs. And it's time for us. Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel that that is some of the hardest things for human beings to do? To admit to being wrong or living wrong?
hmm. Yeah, very hard. The ego,
Yeah,
very hard. And they got us thinking like we're working just as hard as they're working just as hard as we are.
they're barely working.
They
Please.
feel it.
They are barely working. Oh my God. And they're just relaxing, multi-millions and billions, and you just see them in a t-shirt and jeans, nothing fancy. I think Warren Buffett drives like a regular car. Like it would blow your mind because you see, when you are that wealthy, you don't have to flaunt it and wear it on you. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
You have your money in investments and in corporations and in real estate. You're not worried about wearing Versace and foolishness. You know what I mean? You may own like 10% of Versace.
Right.
It's a different mindset. But I think with the work that you're doing, we can all adjust our mindset. That's why I was, bringing that up to you because it's hard. We have been indoctrinated in the programming in our subconscious minds that anything that's out of like kind of like here to here that we've been programmed to believe, we just immediately call it, the devil or sin or evil and this and that. And it's like at some point we have to get humble and more mature and then really learn about things before we label it, right? Because
True.
like Lloyd always says his famous quote every time we talk, right? He'll say, you say to somebody, he's like, "Oh, they don't believe in astrology," and then you be like, "What's your sign?" And Lloyd said, "They know right away. Oh, I'm a Capricorn." And it's like, yeah, you do know. And so if you know that and you can associate with that, then go deeper, right? Because we talked about this before. Like when you find out that, like, wait a minute, I've got a moon, a Mercury, a Venus, a Mars, a Jupiter, a Saturn, and so on. It's like, whoa, because I remember I was all into sun sign astrology for a long time. But then when I started to learn and research and take courses and classes, it's the same thing with numbers. We know the book of numbers. Lloyd talks about that too. The book of numbers in the Bible, but we know that numbers and frequency, like it's scientific, right? That we know that there's a correlation.
And I don't believe we're the only ones that know it. I just believe that they rather for us to think that something's wrong with it because if we think something's wrong with it, we'll shy away from it. But when you can see it in your own life and it's happening whether you believe it or not.
Yes.
It's happening. And so do you rather just lay there and let it happen? Or do you want to go with the flow? Do you want to find out about your information and how you can put yourself up ahead of the crowd doing using these sciences? So that's something interesting we got to think about too. We have to, like you said, change the mindset of how we think about things, because everything that somebody tells you doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right thing. So if they tell you it's the devil's work, that's not necessarily true.
Exactly.
But it's up to you.
I love that. So let's get back to the book. So you said you have divisions, right? So
Yeah.
explain that. Like, how did you design the book, and what is the like? What does it take you through?
Well, I will tell you about how the ideas first started coming to me, because I had several clients that would reach out to me after their business reports, and they like, can you do this or can you do that? And one of my favorite questions is why. So one day I was out, it was a sunny day, and it was just like a flash of information just kept all of this information about this entire concept just came to me. And I'm thinking it's like it's coming so fast, and I'm like, I need to write this down. And I began to write it down, and I began to start researching it, and I could see that it was proven. I knew that the information that I was getting, I mean, everything just came into place. It's
Wow.
not like I was sitting down thinking, what can I write or what kind of structure am I going to create? It just literally just came to me. And I can't explain it. I can't
I
explain.
love that. That's the download energy. Wow. And that's a thing that we're going to experience a lot, starting April 25th with Uranus and Gemini. I think, it's back in Taurus now in retrograde with a whole bunch of other things: Chiron, Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus. It's a lot right now. So it's a good time to sit down, read, and write, and reach out to Kimberly and really look into this stuff. But with Uranus going into Gemini for the next 7 years, it's really going to make quite a shift in our writing and how we interpret sound and frequencies in our hearing, getting these downloads you were speaking of. And for you and I, having it in eighth house, we're going to get a lot of downloads, Kimberly, about the occult and esoteric knowledge and the secrets of the world. So I'm excited for this transit, but this is also going to advance us with, technology and some spiritual gifts. When people talk about the clairs, claircognizance, clairaudience, like, mental telepathy, I want people to realize that when we tap in spiritually through our meditation and our intentions and prayers, we have the opportunity to receive those downloads you were speaking about on a grander stage. So it's really important. Um, and I'm just excited about that. So let me ask you a question. How long did it take you to write the book?
Oh, it probably took me longer. It probably took me longer to wrap my mind around. I was writing a book, but
So
I
you're just writing, and then you're like, "Oh, this is a book."
yeah, it was probably about close to a year.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was a while that I was working on it. Could have been done quicker, but
It was divine timing.
yeah, yeah,
We have to stop trying to rush stuff. When it's gonna be, it's meant to be,
we have to listen.
and
We
yeah.
have to listen. I will catch up on the chat. Let's see. Quintella says, Grand Day, Taylor family, Miss Kimberly, and the Knowledge is Love Astrology Podcast Tribe, Peace, Unconditional Love, and Light, Beautiful Spirits. Thank you, Quintella. Peace to
She
you.
always, she just lights up the chat. She always leaves that beautiful message, and you just can't help but smile because you know she means it. You know what I mean? Like that's just her heart. I love it. I love it.
And CC Naturally says, "Hi guys,
Hey,
hi
CC.
CC."
Oh, so good to see. I haven't seen you in a while. All right, who else is here?
Gigi said, "Hey everyone, hey Gigi." And Aya says, "Hello." I don't want to mispronounce it. Yeah, so I'll just give a few tips really
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
So what I
And if you
will
guys have specific questions for Kimberly, this is the time to ask. But go ahead with the tips because I think that's going to be helpful.
the one thing that I would say about if you're going to start a business, the best place to start would be to incorporate, if you can, on your birthday. And the reason why is
Oh,
you'll definitely be in alignment with yourself if you incorporate on your birthday.
okay.
And
Wow, that's
each
fascinating.
state has state has their rules or regulations for when you can schedule, but some states you can schedule in advance to up to 90 days. So
Okay, so you
yeah,
could actually kind of curtail it to right on your date of birth.
yeah, right
So
on your
when
date.
you say that though, tell me the reason. Is it because of like that solar return energy and the power of the sun?
Okay, because it's well, that's a lot of it, Eric. But another thing is too, your birthday energy is now in perfect harmony with the business birthday.
Ah, I love it.
Yeah.
That's such great advice, you guys. That it's so simple, but honestly, I didn't even think of that. I have, I mean, I've got the music and stuff like that, and so maybe that's what I need to think about with the album. But you know, um, see, and that makes me think about with the book because we're almost done. My wife and I, she's writing it with me, and she's been holding it down. She's doing the glossary and all the editing now, and she's just been like my rock. But my astrology book, it's in the final stages. And like when you're getting to the glossary and table of contents, you're almost home, right? So, but it makes me think, should I, check in with you in terms of potentially, release dates and then also just double check the title of the name of the book, to make sure it's aligned. So that'll be interesting for me to, check that out with you. Do you, okay, this is really interesting. Do you, when you're working on the business consultations with people and the reports, do you find that people get all the information and do they implement it, or are they still kind of teeter-tottering to like what they would fall back on their old ways compared to the new information? Like, what are you seeing with people?
Uh, Keep in mind with me, I'm kind of like real close to Virgo too. I break it down. I break it all the way down for them and go, and that's why I do the consultation so I can go back and explain each one. And if you come and have a consult with me, I'm going to record it and you will get a recording. And if you have any questions about the consultation or anything, first I'm going to make sure that you ask those before you leave, or you can follow up through email and ask the questions that you need to ask. But what I've been noticing is most of the time it's like spot on point, especially with the timing, the yearly forecast. A lot of people like the yearly forecast because you go from the next 12 months of your business, understanding your business cycles. That's another part
Mm,
that I discuss in the timing session,
okay.
because sometimes we just decide, and I'm glad you asked today, but sometimes we just decide, I want to release this now. or and just like about it, Mercury retrograde, don't
Yeah, you
release
don't want to
anything.
release the book on Mercury's retrograde?
Yeah, so I
Or
don't.
really anything?
I use Mercury retrograde as a caution in the book as well.
Oh,
But
good.
knowing your timing is crucial, because sometimes you may come to me and you may say, my business is not moving the way that it's supposed to be. Things are too slow at this time. What's going on? What's happening? Well, you're in a cycle that says slow down. This
Mm,
is not the time to push.
okay.
This is the time to receive. And so the next cycle that you get into is going to be different. So knowing what cycle your business is in, not just for the entire year, but month by month, week by week, that is priceless. You know when to sign contracts. And here's another tip for you:
Mm,
don't sign contracts if you can help it, or start anything new on a 9 day. That's on the 9th, the 18th, the 27th of the month.
okay, why? What's so
Because
powerful about that?
9 represents endings and completions. So
Yes.
you don't want to be signing a contract on a day that represents endings or completion. Or
Because
number
before you get started, you're already ending.
That's right. And also another one with that too is, if you have to sign something, a contract or something on the 28th, or if you have to hire somebody on the 28th, make sure that you read the fine print. Make sure that you pay attention to detail, because the number 28 is known as a contradiction number. So you have to pay close attention to the little words that you see on the bottom of contracts. So if you don't have to sign anything on the 28th, don't do it.
Now,
And it
okay,
just
so that's okay. That's okay. Sorry, I didn't even mean to cut you off, but that's so fascinating because Berkshire Hathaway is a 28, and 28 is supposed to be like an abundant number. And you see different people start businesses or get married or certain things on a 28. So, what is that? Like, is it just something different, or, explain that to me?
we have to learn about the differences in the numbers, or um, the poles and the numbers. It could be good, or, well, I don't want to say good or bad. Just like we talked about Scorpio energy.
Right.
There's a negative side of Scorpio and there's
Uh-huh.
a positive vibration of Scorpio.
Yeah.
Now, according to um, the Chaldean definition of the number 28, one of the negative parts of the 28 is contradictions.
Okay.
So you got to be careful. So some people may see it as good, some people may see it as bad. Really, what it is all according to your energetic blueprint and how you're using it. But at the same time, be cautious, because we know this energy potentially comes from this number.
Okay, that's so helpful. So I got a couple more questions I got to ask you here. So, do you recommend, is it better, and I know every business is different, so it may not be a direct thing, but should people do, can you close my door? Should people do LLC or an S corp?
Oh, I don't recommend it. That's for the
Okay,
consultant.
okay,
That's
okay.
for the
So you
business
don't.
consultant. I'll
All
get
right,
it.
all right. That's
However
okay.
you decide to set it up, that's up to you.
All right, that's fair. You guys check with your accountant, your tax people, and stuff like that. That's always important too. And then, so when you are kind of tapping in to somebody's numbers, and then their business that they chose is totally out of whack with their numbers, and they've already had a business. What's the best way you could recalibrate them to kind of get more aligned? Like in your experience, like what's the first couple things you go to, if you see that they're coming to you and they're struggling, they're like, Kimbaley, my business is not doing nothing. This is what I named it. This is my numbers. Help me. How do you kind of recalibrate them?
It's all about alignment. If you've already established a business, it may not be in alignment, but the beautiful thing about it is we know how to find the balance of it. Let me give you an example of this. The number 2 and the number 9 are opposition numbers. So somebody may have a business mission number 9, but they may have a incorporation date of a 2. There could be friction there. But it's all about understanding the frequency of both of those numbers. What are they telling you to do? So the moon rules the number 2,
Right.
and Mars rules the number 9. So what
Yep.
that is really telling you is you're going to have to find the balance somewhere in between. You're not going to be too aggressive, but you're not going to let anybody run over you. You got to find that sweet spot in the middle. So if there's places in your chart or your business's chart that does not align, don't worry, because we can find out what is out of alignment and determine what you need to do in order to make sure that these are vibrating in harmony.
Wow, that's so helpful. And I noticed that even when you did that with the, musical artist E Complete, you talked about that not just in making the adjustment of the name and the title of the next album, but even, giving me insights and tips with the colors. Now, is that just standard in your breakdowns? Because it's so thorough. Like you guys, like seriously, you got to reach out to Kimbaley, because like, I mean, I can't even, I'm speechless in terms of how detailed you were. Is that's your standard course of how you break everything down for people?
That is division 2 in the book. It's the
Okay.
4 divisions. And branding and marketing comes from something else totally different. We hardly mentioned it today, but that comes from your name. Your name in numerology will tell you who you will attract to you. And that's beautiful, because if you know the vibration of your name, you know the type of people that you are attracting to you. So there's so many things that you can do in marketing and branding. You get to find out, who your target audience is. And once you find those out, then you know how to market to them. You know how to promote to them. You know what type of products and services they want. Um, there's so many other things that you can do in marketing and branding. Let's see, I wrote down some tips for that.
Wow. So is it better? Okay, so when you're looking at that, in terms of, do I look at Eric Taylor first, or Gigi or Quintella? Do they look at themselves first, or do they look at the name of the business first? Or is it kind of like not really first? It's kind of like you're just kind of aligning both.
So to me, the person is important. The individual is important because you're a part of the business. You're going to be running the business.
Right, you're the face, yeah. So they gotta connect with you first, then the business.
Yes, but for me, I'm focused on this business
Yes.
because we need to get the business in alignment, even if you're not in alignment. We'll do the best we can to, but we got to focus on making sure that the business is in alignment. So if you can, I suggest the best thing to do is get a business name that that is in alignment with your birthday number. And I use the Chaldean method of numerology when I'm doing business astro-numerology, because to me, I feel like that's always been the most accurate for me so far. And
And what's the other one? You say Chaldean. What's the other one you could use?
the other one is Pythagorean,
Okay.
but I don't use that. And the one big reason why is that when you use the Chaldean system, you go by the name that you were called. So if you want to be called Big E, I can do the vibration of Big E under the Chaldean system. But in the Pythagorean system, I would go by Eric Taylor.
Okay. Oh, so that's a big difference. That's really fascinating. Now, have you tested and seen that one system overrides or is more beneficial than the other?
To me, I feel like it's what works best for the practitioner.
Okay.
And for me, in my observation, it's always been the Chaldean system that has aligned for the people that I use it for. And the Chaldean system has a bonus where if it's a compound number, meaning that there's more than one number, it has a deeper meaning to it. And so you can get deeper into what the meaning of that name is by looking at the compound number. And that's
Meaning
how
like
we
what?
know
Like if you have a 22 that you could break it down to a 4 or?
like how we did the 28. When I said in the Chaldean system, one of the negative characteristics of the 28 was what- one of the negative characteristics was contradiction.
Right.
So I looked at that because instead of saying 2 plus 8 equals 10,
Right.
I looked at the 28.
The frequency of the 2 and the 8 itself.
Yes.
Okay. That's really powerful. And these nuances, how long did it take you to kind of, I guess, learn it and memorize it and just get it? Because it seems like it's just second nature to you. And I know you had a great teacher in Lloyd, but like how long does it, like, let's say somebody wants to, take your business class when you offer it. Like, what can people expect? Like, obviously, listen, I tell everybody, like, if they take an astrology class with me, like, I'm going to teach it to you right, but you still got to do the work outside of class. Like, it doesn't just stop for the hour and a half, 2 hours you're with me. You got to continue the learning. And so share with us like your process of learning from Lloyd and then researching and studying on your own. Like, how long did it take you to just like cement it in your cranium?
Well, for me, that part is easy, and it's because we're never really learning. We're just
Remember.
remembering.
Yeah.
We're remembering. We're awakening something. I remember when I was 16 years old,
That's great.
picking up the first numerology book.
Oh my God.
Into many years later, really knowing that, hey, this is going to be a part of your life. I didn't know it. It's something that we've always remember. Another thing that happens to me, probably Scorpio rising, but sometimes if I go to sleep and think about things, I'm learning while I sleep.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. So I'm learning when I sleep. But really, for everyone, if you're hungry about information, if you are as curious as I am, then when it comes to you, then you're just going to devour it. And if you're really passionate about it, that's why I say look for the business that you are passionate about.
Yeah.
Because if you're passionate about
Then
it,
it doesn't feel like work, right?
it doesn't feel like work. And it's easy for you to remember it.
That's right. Well, see, and that's what I love. I know it for me, you, Lloyd, Jazz, Portia, Queen Bee. Like, I feel that you can feel the love from all of us. You know what I mean? Like, I see how your face lights up when you're talking about different things, and it's just like you're in the flow, and it's like you're in your purpose, right? Dr. Uchenna Hackett spoke about that, right? The best thing for your heart health and everything is being in your purpose, and you manifest on purpose, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell us about that title, and what does that represent, manifest on purpose, and how do you, um, how is that a part of your teachings and your program?
Manifest on purpose is simply being a conscious creator in your life. We are all manifesting, whether we realize it, whether we believe it or not, or whether we care about it. We're all manifesting something. And a lot of people are like, where are the things that I want to manifest? When is it going to come? Newsflash is already here. Everything we already want is here. You
Yes,
know what
ma'am.
it's waiting on is what I've been talking about tonight: alignment.
Yeah.
Being able to align with those things that you really want to. And so, manifest on purpose is something that came about. I was really passionate about manifestation. Interesting, because that kind of just, I, I don't know where that came from, because I first when I first heard about manifestation, it was like, oh, a lot of people are doing it. I didn't care too much for it. And I was like, I don't even know what it is. But I was coaching a client, and I found myself telling her step by step how to manifest. And I'm like, how do
Oh God, that's so great.
and fast forward to, I became passionate. It sent me on that research, and I went researching it, and I was fascinated about it, and I saw things a little bit differently than everybody else. How it's not about magic, or it's not woo woo.
Oh
It's
no.
about being able to align, and we align through our mindset. And that's like the third time mindset came up tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And align with the frequencies from your heart,
Yeah.
the heart and the gut, feeling into things. It's so important as well. And it's such a combination, right?
Yes, it is a combination.
I love that. So, before we get back to the chat and we wind things down, so tell us, in terms of the book, the other divisions, because you said you had four divisions. I think you named two or three of them.
Yes, we went over the first division, which is the foundation. We went over the second division, which is marketing and branding, and we went. See, we didn't go in order, but we touched on everything just a little bit,
Yeah.
and so we talked about the timing section and how important it is. And I tell people, yes, it's important to know the energy of your business first, but don't leave out your time. That's the most important thing to me, because it's priceless to know when to make a move. And
You
some
could
of the
miss your day that's the best for you, or you could totally jump out there on the absolute worst energetic day, right?
yeah, you can. And then the last section of the book is, it's all about growth, mastery and growth. And one of the most important things that I want to say to people that they should know about with growth and mastery is that none of this is, it's all useless if you don't apply it.
Thank you.
It's all useless.
The
If
integration. Yes, ma'am. I tell my clients all the time, I can give you all the knowledge in the world, but if you walk away and then, Friday morning, you just go back to the same old you and you don't, absorb these frequencies and energies, because that's what the planets are too, just like the numbers. It's frequency, energy, vibration.
yes, one more thing I wanted to share to another tip:
Yes.
pricing your pricing your services.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say they use something that adds to a number 8 because 8 is considered a money number for some people. But I would advise people to be cautious about that. Make sure that 8 is not your actual business opposition number. Make sure your pricing aligns with your numbers.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So that maybe could be a 9, not an 8.
Yeah.
Could be a 7. Yeah. I mean, because you'll see people, oh, this costs, $24.97. And you're like, how'd they get that price? Right? No, seriously. Like you'll see like these weird numbers sometimes. And I'm like, and in my head, immediately, I'm just like, oh, they got a numerologist or somebody, you know what I mean? Because you will see a myriad of different pricing. And I do always, I mean, now, years ago I didn't, but the last probably 4 or 5 years, I'm always like, oh, there's a frequency, a number, a reason that they are doing that. And that's smart, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's the way to really do it. Okay, so all right, well, check in with the chat. You guys have any questions before we wind down? Because this has been so fascinating. And see, this is what I love. Your book, it just is so filled with so much insight. But then when you marry it with like having the consultation with you, it's just next level. And I just thank you for you offering such knowledge and love, right? Hence the podcast name. But that's what it is, right? It's so important. It's not cliche because you and I was going to say earlier, but I lost my train of thought. Scorpio risings, we love research, right? If you could give me like a weekend where like I don't, obviously I'm dad and I'm a husband, but so my schedule's not my own. But boy, if I could just get like, some serious, I'd be so dangerous with just a lot of free time to research. Sometimes, I'm busy with so much work, and that it's so funny, Kimberly. And I wonder if you notice this or feel this. For me, when I don't get to research, it almost bothers me. I love to research. Do you
Yeah.
feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I won't say love to. I feel like I don't have a choice. It's
Oh
just,
yeah. I mean, it's just like, but it's something that, like you said 2 words. You said research, and then you also said curiosity. And I find that I love that about life. My goal is to learn something new, and at least more than one thing every single day I'm alive. I want to learn new things. And I marvel at human beings that just discredit things. Even I was talking to somebody something about like, oh, I don't believe in that. And I'm just like, you don't even know it. How could you not believe in something that you are ignorant towards? Because someone else told you it's XYZ? Like that is the wildest thing to me. Because even Bruce Lee had that philosophy. He's like, I don't care who it is, right? The worst person in the world, whatever that name is that we don't like to say, like you could learn from something from him. But anybody else, any dictator, any, this person, that person, people that have done bad things in history, there's something to learn. It doesn't mean you follow, believe, like, but you can learn. And so when we close ourselves off to learning, you guys, that's a dangerous thing, because if you're not willing to get uncomfortable and change, you're blocking God from the blessings. When you get uncomfortable, that's what God does the work, right?
yeah, you're on autopilot then.
I love it.
Autopilot.
So, okay, you want to get to the chat and then we
Okay.
can wind down. See,
Peace and love, Numerologist.
there she is.
She
Queen
said,
B, I miss you.
Blissfully Evolving 22 said, "That's awesome. Thank you."
And you guys, please go follow. The link is in the description. But tell them your social media. You're bigger on YouTube. Do you get into your Instagram and TikTok at all, or mainly everything is YouTube?
Oh no, it's just YouTube. It's Kimbaley, KIMBALEY _ and the website is Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com.
I love that. Nice and simple. Kimbaley with an A.com. But go and subscribe to her channel, please. And make sure you guys are hitting the like button. And do us a favor. You know, I always like to tell you guys, when this is over, write a comment on the page because it helps it grow in the algorithms. But share it. Share it on your Facebook, your Twitter, you know, with a friend, the person that you think isn't into numerology or whatever. You see, you don't, honestly, you don't know. You just by you clicking a button in your phone, you don't know it hits them on the right.
Yeah.
I really would say it's the right numeric day, the right frequency and vibration that where they've been closed off. Today may be the day. They're like, oh, it's Thursday, it's Jupiter. They don't even realize it. I just feel like learning something today. That's what Thursdays are about. You're planning things, you're learning, you're teaching, you're sharing your wisdom, beliefs, and philosophies. So this is the perfect night to send somebody the little text saying, you want to learn about numbers to business and astro-numerology? What? Who's this Kimbaley? Like, what? Yeah, share it, okay? It's really powerful. You have no idea. The people that poo-poo, oh, you're into that weird stuff? Well, today may be a day. They're like, I got to watch this. I'll click this video and learn about this beautiful business mind and her numerology gifts. So let's see who else. Any other questions or comments?
You said that because that's another thing too. In the book, it tells you about days of the week. So there are certain days of the week or certain business functions that you need to be doing for each day, or that favors each day. For example, Wednesday is a Mercury day, so it's a good day for communications and stuff like that. So that's another
all
thing.
your newsletters, your emails, your texts.
Yep.
That's right. And
Quintella
okay, no, go ahead.
Quintella understanding. I remember you, Quintella.
Yeah.
Send me an email.
Yeah.
Wealth Mobster said, would today be a good day to sign something? Oh, it depends on your birthday.
It would depend, but also Wealth Mobster.
Your incorporated day, what day you're incorporated.
It's just challenging, you guys, because not only is Mercury retrograde, it's in Sagittarius where it's debilitated, right? So you've got to reanalyze and assess your wisdom, your beliefs, your philosophies, you know, expansion, higher thought. Mercury is challenging retrograde, you know, 3 times a year, anytime. But when it's in Sagittarius or Pisces, it makes it a little extra challenging. Plus, I said it earlier, we've got Chiron retrograde, the wounded healer. We've got Jupiter retrograde, the ruler of Sagittarius. So that makes it even extra challenging. And Uranus and Neptune. So honestly, I wouldn't sign a thing right now. You could be patient. The 29th will be here. Mercury retrograde ends. But like I just said, Mercury is debilitated in Sagittarius, and the ruler of Sagittarius, Jupiter's in retrograde. Now it's exalted in Cancer, so that softens the blow. But with the ruling planet is in retrograde from the sign like Mercury, that, you know, the planet Mercury that's already in a debilitated planet, it makes it extremely challenging, you guys. So just be mindful and really, if you have to do stuff, and remember, the one thing I like to say, Kimberly, about the Mercury retrograde, if you've already started something and then you're signing it, you started it before the retrograde, that's different. That's not as bad at all. But if it's something completely new, you know, you're signing a lease to an apartment or a house or a car, and you know, and it's just new. Now, obviously, it's different. If you had a car accident or something like that, you got to take care of business. Please go ahead and take care of it, right? But I'm just saying, like, it's like a Venus retrograde. Don't start a marriage on a Venus retrograde or just get. I've seen so many people start relationships. Listen, you do what you want, but it can really bring up a lot of stuff. And when the retrograde's over, you're gonna see them differently. That's what's so deep about it.
It's funny too when you know retrograde season is coming. That's when you want stuff. But I also double down on your answer today because there's this other thing that I today is the 13th,
Ooh.
which is ruled by Uranus, and so I'm very careful with those 4 days because sudden changes. So
Yes.
you don't know how Uranus day is going to go. So.
Oh, you can never predict anything with Uranus. Like,
Mm,
it's
no.
like, and now it's in Taurus at 29 degrees, Neptune 29 degrees. We are going to have some wild weather. Seriously. I mean, Neptune's to February 13th, Uranus to April 25th. Like, get ready. Like, winter will last a long time, but extreme fluctuations of weather. There could be cyclones, tornadoes, hurricanes, and people are like, oh, well, it's the government manipulation. Yeah, well, they may be doing some stuff too. But when you've got these outer planets like Neptune, which is flooding and water in the oceans at the anaretic critical degree of 29, as I like to say, it's not for joke, right? Don't take it for joke. Okay, any last questions or comments? I don't want to keep you all night, Kimberly.
Yes. Very informative. Thank you, Kim Macalia. Those labels cut us off from true understanding the self. So true, Alana. Blissfully Evolving said, can you speak on attracting the right clientele using numerical insight? You learn about the people that you're going to attract by the frequency of the name of your business. So
Mm,
whatever that frequency is, it'll let you know what type of people you can attract.
okay.
And that's one of the things that I um, help people do. Thank you, Lloyd. Alana said, yes, it's important to get information on our kids. Yes, we help them. We help set them up.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, no, definitely. You could set them up for success, and that's powerful. Go ahead.
okay. Miss Kimberly's energy feels like one of 11 mother. Thank you, Chris, for
Yes.
understanding.
That's all that Leo. She's giving you guys a virtual warm hug. That's what that is.
uh, peace and bliss. Mr. E birthday twins, Miss Kimberly and chat. My birthday number would be 8. I have so many interests. What do you think I should focus on based on my number?
Good
Wow.
question.
So for you, Alana, you're in the business of being about business with that 8 there. So that's the CEO energy.
That's what I tell her all the time. And Kimberly, and she got Mars in Capricorn and the North Node in Capricorn
Oh, yeah.
and the midheaven. She's a boss.
Yes,
And
that's the
not
big
just
boss.
bossing her husband around, the kids.
No, that's the big
She is a
boss.
boss.
Abdul Ruiz says 1129. Music producer, that makes sense because you're a master number 11, director and writer.
Oh
Yes,
wow. Hey
creative.
Abdul, welcome back, man. So honey, so 1129, that's the Sagittarius. I got a good buddy with that. So that's really good for creative endeavors.
The number 29, because when you look at 29, add that up, it reduces to the master number 11. That's a very
Yeah.
creative number.
Wow.
That's a number that says that you probably have a bigger purpose to live up to, a higher
Yeah.
spiritual purpose. You should pay attention to your visions, pay attention to your dreams and the information that comes to you.
Mm.
Yes.
And let me tell you a little tip about that. Sagittarius, people don't realize it's definitely the freedom and the adventure. But Sagittarius, they don't sit still. If you notice, like when they're talking on the cell phone, they got to walk, they move. And so Sagittarius rules the hips and the thighs and the liver. So when you're out in nature, because Sagittarius is also biology and finance, you can get a lot of downloads about your business, about your money, just going for a walk. Very important.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to know these sciences.
Oh man, are you telling? Listen,
Yes. Yes.
I thank God every day that I kind of remembered who I is, and remember. But I will tell you this, like I tell the audience, Kimberly, it's very humbling, but it was the Uranus opposition, and that's what happens. A lot of people who have Uranus and Sagittarius, they're about to go through it when it goes into Gemini. And if you are not aligned with your soul's purpose, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Uranus will flip you up, knock you down, throw you over the bridge, wherever, to get you to walk into your purpose. With me, when it was in Aries, because my Uranus is in Libra, I was like, thinking about teaching again. I was writing. I was doing sports radio. Uranus in Libra, in Aries, was like, no, fool, you are an astrologer. You better get sick and remember. But that's what it had to do. Like, it literally got me so sick that I could not work outside of my home, and I had to research different things. And then it got me back into astrology, but then it got me into medical astrology. And then I wound up finding my main, I was doing workshops and different classes here and there, but I found my main astrology teacher. And I told my wife, I said, baby, I'm going to take this astrology class. This teacher, she's a Virgo like me, and I think I can learn from her. And I'm gonna learn astrology. She's like, really? Because I was talking about life coaching, this and that, and all those certificates and all that stuff. I was like, something seems fishy about that. I don't trust that. I was like, I could do the relationship coaching because I've been doing that since I was 11 anyway, already, helping people. And then I was like, but I'm going to become a professional astrologer. And I cannot tell you, when I signed up and took the course, it was like 12, small class, 12 people all over the world. Kimberly, it was just a remembering. I picked it up so quickly. It made no sense. You know what I mean? Even my other classmates and the teacher, she was like I just got it, and that's what happens, you guys. So put yourself out there, connect with Kimberly, connect with Lloyd, connect with Queen Bee, connect with me, because you could be teeter-tottering, but you don't know that when you kind of step into it, it's like your heart and your soul will start to remember in a way, and you're like, this is who I am. This is in my lineage. This is the ancestors. This is, what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my remembering, So I really, okay. So tell everybody again, the website. Now the book, you have the ebook and the hard copy. That's what I'm thinking about doing too. And you said both can be on Amazon. And when we go to Amazon, we just type in Kimbaley Williams, correct? Or numbers to business.
Oh, you can go to Kimbaley.com, Kimbaley.com, and there is a tab there for business astronumerology. So it gives you a little bit more information about business astronumerology, and it will show you where you can go find different stuff at on the site, whether you're looking for reports or consult. And one thing that I forgot to mention, I don't know how I forgot to mention this, and you started this. Last time when I was on your show. I started doing 20-minute consultations for people who have questions about business astronumerology and how it can help them in their business. So you can get a 20-minute call with me just so that we can talk about it and discuss your business a little bit. And you can find that on Kimbaley.com, Kimbaley.com as well.
And take advantage of that, you guys, because not only is she a wealth of knowledge, all your kind of fears and insecurities, Kimbaley will just take them away. You know what I mean? And that means so much, because you know how scary it is to start your own business, to not have that normal check from the 9 to 5, from the 3D matrix. Like, it's a big, scary leap for some people. but you guys on the other side, I'll tell you, right? I had my website attacked. I had all this stuff happening, my technology, Mercury retrograde's acting a fool, but I get to choose how long I work. And yes, when you have your own business, you tend to work longer and harder than you do at that 9 to 5. Believe it or not, people think, oh, the 9 to 5 is so much work. No, no, no. Having your own business is so much work because you wear every hat, right, Kimberly?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Every hat.
Every hat, every day. But it's so much more rewarding. And for me, with young kids, if I need to go to a school play or a function or a football game, I can arrange my schedule however I want because I'm the boss. I'm not asking anybody for permission, right? And that's a freedom, you guys, that is priceless. It is priceless. So, Kimberly, I thank you for the depth and the wealth of your knowledge, your researching, your curiosity, your heart, your warmth, and this numbers two business. And that's numbers, the number two business. So you guys go. Now, do you have a preference? Do you prefer for us to go to Amazon and get it? Because, I don't like Amazon be taking all your money. Or do you want us to go to your website and purchase it?
If you want to get the business of numerology, the print book, I prefer that you go to Amazon to get that. Well,
Okay.
that's where the print book is available.
Okay, that's fine.
You can get the ebook on the website, and also you can get the bundle. It's the ebook plus for those people who are ready to start a business but don't know what kind of business they want to start. I have it listed so that it has 100 businesses, business options for each birthday 1 through 9 and 11 through
Wow.
22.
Now that's a treat. That's awesome. Okay. Y'all hear that? Over
Thank you.
100 businesses. Say it
Thank
again.
you. Blissfully evolving.
Uh,
Okay.
What'd she say?
Oh, Quintella said her 20-minute consultation is so informative. And Blissfully Evolving says, I have the ebook and will be getting in touch with you soon for my consultation.
All right.
Thank
I love
you.
that.
And Quintella said she's not sure why you're muffled all of a sudden.
Who? Me or her? Or you?
You.
Oh, me? I don't know. I hope you can hear me better now.
Yeah.
Listen, it's Mercury retrograde, girl. At
It's
least Quintella
okay.
has. Kimberly hasn't dropped off tonight. You saw what happened with Quintella the
Hey.
other night. So listen, I'm on the gravy train. I'm just happy and gratitude. But I will say this: Jupiter Sagittarius for us is both of our days for speech because of the Sag second house, and I have Jupiter on my ascendant. So I think Thursdays are just a little bit more better. But see, Tuesdays it's Mars, and so Tuesday is my chart ruler is Mars. So I don't, but I guess it could be not the best day in numerology because I think you told me. I think it's Wednesdays and Sundays are really good for me and stuff for, whether it's podcasts or stuff like that. So, and I try to do Sundays. I've been working 6 days a week. So Sunday, I actually just try to rest for once and I still work even on Sundays, but I try to rest and watch some football. So, but every once in a while, I still like to do the Sunday podcast because everybody's at home. And if you don't go too late, it's nice, so. But yeah, you were putting me on with that, just like I told you about the 20-minute consultation. So that's great. So I'm glad that people are taking advantage of it, and you guys do reach out. Kimberly, you are a wealth of knowledge. I'm so excited. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's such an accomplishment. It's something to be proud of. I am almost done. Wifey and I have my first book, and then I go on to the second book about my near-death experience. So we just gonna be in writing heaven. But once I get the first book, I'm gonna go everywhere and promote and all that good stuff. So, I'm excited to do that and to share it because it is like giving birth, and you put so much time and hours into it. And Wifey has really been the glue to it. So I'm really just excited, and I can't wait for you guys to all really get this book for really learning the basic foundations of astrology, but with a special e-complete twist. It's going to be a really good book. Like, you're going to be like, what? Like, it's such a different angle, but it's really powerful. So, but Numbers to Business, that's the book, Kimbaley.com with an A. That's the website, and go to Kimbaley _ for the YouTube. And she's a great channel. I love whenever I see your videos pop up. So,
Cute.
any last messages for people so they know to
I just
be
want to say
aligned?
thank each and every one of you all for showing up tonight. Thank you so much. And it's so important. We have a birthday and we pay attention to our birthday. It's also important to know that your business has a birthday too.
Yeah,
Don't leave your business out. Do a little something for your business, because if you look out for your business is going to look out for you.
I love that. That's
Thank
a
you.
that's a great tip and perspective to have. Yeah, you got to treat it like it's a living being and an entity. So
It's
that's
true.
powerful. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys, thank you for watching episode 398 of my Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast. Uh, I hope to come back sometime this weekend, but I'm so busy. And just make sure you guys come sign up for Coffee Talks Friday night. I'm doing D'Angelo's birth chart, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. R.I.P. to the R&B neo soul legend. He was an Aquarius. We're going to learn about D'Angelo. It's 65 minutes via Zoom, $13. And then Saturday morning, I'm coming back. I'm just busy at 12 noon, and we're looking at the astrological birth charts of Vice President J.D. Vance and Palantir owner and founder Peter Thiel. Two interesting gentlemen that are very much tied together. And yeah, you got to keep your eye on these two. They're slippery like fish. So, and then Saturday evening, I'm still working. I'm the hardest working man in show business. I have my Chiron workshop with Anjani Seagrass, and it's going to be so great, you guys. It's 2 hours, only $32. Saturday, November 15th, 6 p.m. Eastern, taking you from the Chiron wound, from the wounding to the medicine. And we'll be giving you personal readings, a Chiron presentation. Anjani is a Chiron savant and expert. And we're going to take you from the Chiron sign, house, and degree and really transmute out the wound, right? To move past it, because you're not a victim. And then to the medicine, to become the dynamic healer that Chiron really wants you to be. So this is going to be a powerful workshop. You can go to BigEAstrology.com to sign up, but email me, Eric@BigEAstrology.com. The website should be all good now. You can also pay Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and all my information is, down below. But also when you email me, I can, guide you or whatever. So Kimbaley, thank you again, my friend. This was just so much fun, but so informative. And I just love how you vibrate, my sister. So congrats, and keep doing what you're doing, because all right. Did you get logged off? Hmm. Oh boy. What's all the yelling and all the drama?
Defense number 43. That's after this is the goal line to the end of the run. Automatic first down. So that's the goal. That's the goal. There's the hole right there, the jersey hole and everything.
Prime Video.
I think it's still on.
No, I ended it.
Look at what it's showing.
What is it saying here?
Something went wrong during the streaming connection. I don't know. It's so small. I can't.
Oh, which one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Retry that. Okay, wait. Just no. I don't know. It's connecting.